Treasurer, thank you. And we now call on Joe Hockey.
Thank you very much, Chris. Treasurer, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think in my entire life I've been more positive about Australia's destiny than I am today. Our country, for all of its life, has been burdened by its distance from the rest of the world. Shopkeepers had to rely on people walking past the front door, but that's changed. With new technology, with the internet, with mobile phones, Australia's destiny has changed. With the growth of Asia, the fastest growing region in the world, and now that the world is divided into time zones rather than trade blocs, Australia's destiny is truly bountiful. That's why I'm positive about Australia's future, for our people, for our children, for the generations that will follow. The world wants what we have. It wants our resources so that they can grow their economies. It wants our agriculture so that it can feed its people. They want our services, our innovation, which Australia is so famous for. Our people being innovative, hard-working, diligent. Most significantly, the world wants our stability. They want to know that we are a stable, cohesive nation that is able to be a reliable supplier of goods and services, to take a lead in the provision of regulation for what can be at times quite an unsettled world. That's why in this election, with Tony Abbott and my Shadow Finance Minister, Andrew Robb, together we have 20 years of ministerial experience. We've put budgets together. We've been responsible for departments with tens of billions of dollars of expenditure. I have sat on the Expenditure Review Committee of the Cabinet. And in this election campaign, we are only making promises that we can deliver. We've done it before. We've climbed the mountain of Labor debt. We've climbed the mountain of Labor deficits. We've climbed the mountain of Labor incompetence. We've done it before. We will do it again, because we cannot lose the bountiful opportunity our nation has. We have an economic agenda. The first part of the economic agenda is to fix the mistakes made by Labor in the last 3 years. Our fiscal consolidation plan, which I stood before you in this place months ago and outlined and later provided in detail, clearly indicates we are prepared to make the hard decisions to get the budget back to surplus. You cannot sit on the porch chewing a blade of grass hoping that God will get the budget back to surplus. It requires hard work, tough decisions. We outlined here $46 billion of gross savings. No opposition has ever had the courage to do that. And secondly, Tony Abbott and I have outlined a productivity agenda that focuses on participation. Last time we were in government, we had welfare to work. We had work for the dole. This time we're rolling out an agenda that focuses on 3 key demographics. Firstly, people under the age of 30 getting off welfare, getting them into work. Tony Abbott will have more to say about that shortly. Secondly, our paid parental leave policy, which helps to get mums, to give them a choice whether they want to go back to work or not. We want to give them a choice. We cannot afford to have that economic leakage out of the workforce. And the third initiative we have is over 50s, a significant initiative that gets people off welfare and gets them into work. And these are important initiatives. The third key area of productivity is how do we get the settings right that make sure that our existing infrastructure is better utilised. And that's why I've announced a review of the Trade Practices Act, and in particular a focus on a better access regime for existing infrastructure. And fourthly, significantly, as the chairman of the Productivity Commission identified, it is no use spending money on capital works in a tight fiscal world if you are not going to make a cost-benefit analysis of infrastructure public and upfront. And we've committed to do that as well. And finally, the fifth area in tax. We are committed to tax reform because we are the party of tax reform. Tax reform is not new mining taxes and new ETSs. You know what tax reform is? It is about abolishing existing taxes and having more efficient ones, doing the hard yards, implementing the recommendations of the Henry Review. The problem is the government wants to keep them all secret. We will release all of the modelling and the costings of the Henry Review, and we will have a fair dinkum discussion with the Australian people about how we can take advantage of our incredible future by focusing on growth, energy, innovation and the opportunities in Asia. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go to questions from